Well, hello ski hubbers. It's another Tuesday and I thought we would play today with our foam roller just to help you unwind your day. So we're going to go ahead and get started right away. So place your foam roller down on the floor and we're going to lie head to toe at one end. And if you don't have a foam roller, don't worry about it. You can take a yoga mat and roll it up, or a thick blanket and roll it up, and you can just get a little bit of that instability in the surface and just allow that opening to occur as well. So go ahead, we're going to lie on our roller. So just take a moment, and I want you just to relax and just feel your spine on the roller. Take a moment to think about your feet, and you want to have your feet about hip width apart to start. We're going to take our hands, just open out to the side, and an angle that feels comfortable. So not too pulley to start, but just a little bit of opening through the front of your chest. Let's take that moment to just release our day and come into our body. So taking a breath in through the nose, inhaling, and a nice long exhale out. Take this moment as you inhale to just breathe in good, full, oxygenated air. And a nice long exhale, letting go of your day. And one more time, inhale, creating circulation in the body, and a nice long exhale. We'll go ahead and start with the arms. Take a moment also just focusing on the head and the neck. So if you're in a big extension there, just thinking about creating length through the neck as you lift your hands off of the floor, crossing them over your chest. We're going to lift them up overhead and circle around. So we're inhaling as we go over and exhale as you come around. And just do take the time. Have that audible inhale through the nose and long audible exhale through the nose and the throat, or mouth and the throat, I should say. And as you're in these circles, start to become mindful of what the rest of you is doing. Did the neck start to move? Do the ribs start to lose their contact? Do your feet start to waver? Are your toes spread? All little things to check in to as you're doing the circling motion. You're going to go ahead and reverse direction, so circling overhead and crisscrossing down the front. And just really imagine and envision this as just a very gentle unlocking process for the arm bone in the socket. Spine is heavy on the roller, and I want you to feel equal balance right to left. You're going to place your hands at your side and then refocus your attention into the spine. Just see if you can get a little bit more of a sensation of lengthening from tail to head. Then we're going to take our feet in a little closer, adding an element of challenge. Let's take our hands to the inside of the pelvic bones. We're going to warm up the internal core, so taking a breath, inhale. And as you're exhaling, envisioning the pelvic floor starting to come towards the center midline and up in towards the body. So taking 2 breaths more where you're just focusing on that deep core, the base of the pelvis. So as you're exhaling, envisioning the pubic bone moving to the tailbone towards the pubic bone, meeting at the center and gently lifting in the direction of your head. And one more as you just really focus into that pelvic floor, 6 to 12 or 12 to 6 if it were a clock, drawing 3 and 9 towards center and gently lifting up inside. With the hands to the inside of the pelvic bones, you're also going to feel the transversus fire. That's the image of having the 2 pelvic bones being drawn towards the center line as you're activating the pelvic floor. The final or quicker thought that you could have is envisioning a foam roller inside of your torso, and just imagine from all 4 sides that it's cinching in from the bottom, the top, and the 4 sides, but you're still maintaining a flow of breath into the side ribs. Taking your hands to your side with your core active, we'll inhale one hand overhead, and we're going to exhale to switch. And let's go with a quick breath out on each switch. So it's a quick, it's not too big, but it's a gentle pumping action to just get the energy deep down into the pelvic bowl. So every exhalation, you're reconnecting through to that internal core. Adding the challenge of lifting the heels, we're going to go through another 10, 9, 8, 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and down. Dropping your heels, reconnecting with that cylinder. If your ribs have popped, just allow them to melt back down to the roller. Reconnect with the core. We'll inhale here. Exhale, floating our leg to tabletop. We're going to take the opposite hand overhead, and right away we're going to move into extension. So long body to short body. Long body to short. So your focus is into the core and how your rib cage is staying nicely connected to that foam roller. You have light pressure on the hand that's on the ground if need be. And for extra challenge, you're coming up onto the ball of the foot of the standing leg. We're going to do another 3. Every time you exhale through center, you can sort of re-engage through the core to draw the leg back up. Switching feet, hand to the floor, lifting the opposite leg, reconnect with the chuck of the chin, hand to the sky. Keeping the idea of the pelvis and the ribs on opposite angles being connected as a quadrant, we're going to extend and contract. So lengthen and contract. Lengthen and contract. We're going to go through another 8 and 7. So you're reaching and releasing your day and then bringing yourself back to center. Last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Bringing the foot to the floor, taking a breath. Exhaling, reconnecting ribs to pelvis, bringing one leg up. Doing a slight chin tuck and thinking about doing a mini crunch of the upper abdominals or the rib cage towards the pelvis, connecting with that deep internal core. We're going to go ahead and float the second leg up. You want to make sure you still feel nice and connected with that internal cylinder, and your feet can be just above 90 or slightly at or right at 90. So a little bit less load here, a little bit more load here. We're starting with one leg tapping towards the floor at a time. So inhale to go down, exhale to come back up. For a bigger challenge, you're going to reach the heel instead of the toe. And then for an even deeper challenge, you can reach the foot further away and back. So here's where you want to feel as though your bottom ribs don't start to lift off of the roller. So the goal is keeping them connected. I like to envision the pubic bone moving in the direction of my nose to help me hold that proper pelvic position. Or if I feel like I'm getting pulled out of it, I would just move in a smaller range of motion, so back to closer. We're going to go through another 8. If you're feeling really solid today, you can go with the extended straight leg for your last 5, last 4, last 3, and 2, soft shoulders, soft neck, and last 1. Bringing your feet back to the floor. Good. We'll do one more move on the roller, so bringing our leg back to tabletop and extending it. From here, we're working the hip socket off midline. So we're going to rotate the leg bone in the socket and exhale, scoop from the core to bring it back up. So leg bone in the socket, scoop to come back up. Watch the opposite leg, that it stays centered instead of moving around from midline. So circling around, exhale, focusing also on what's my neck doing, my bottom ribs. So we're working the hip here as well as the core. Exhale and scoop. Last 3. Soft shoulders, 2. So you keep it in the hip instead of in the neck and shoulders. Last 1. And down. Go ahead and switch. Other side. So I'm going to turn my leg bone out slightly in the socket. I might only bring it to here if I don't have the flexibility to come through to a full 90. That is fine here too if it's not pulling too much in the back of the hamstring. So even at this level here, soft shoulders, long neck, and we're going to rotate. So we're doing our absolute best to minimize the movement in our opposite leg. So inhale to go down, exhale to come back up. For 5 and 4. So it's hip mobility with a stable core. 3, 2, and last 1. Good. Bring your feet back down to the floor, and we're going to bring ourselves onto the floor, off of the roller, and back down. Just open your hands wide and just take that moment to really enjoy the feeling of being back down on the stable surface, and hopefully feeling more of your spine connected with the floor, feeling broader through the back and more open through the front of the chest. We're going to finish with just one more move for today. Nice and simple. We'll go without that roller. So we're going to bring our legs back into tabletop for a final abdominal exercise. So bringing one leg to tabletop. If you want, grab a hold of the back of the leg. That can actually help you really feel connected to that full internal cylinder as you float your second leg up off of the ground. You want to feel and be sure that you didn't move into a low back arch as you came into that position. And if you did, you want to restart. You don't want to from here just flatten back out because your abdominals will still be in that poochy scrunchy feeling, and that's not what we want. So if you feel like you lost that position, just restart. Inhale here. Exhale, find your connection. And bring that second leg up off of the ground. From here, let's take our hands to the back of the head, or one hand to the back of the head and one hand to the bottom rib cage. I'm going to go ahead and flex my feet here. I will take a breath in. Exhale, we're going to nod the chin, connect the bottom ribs through to the pelvis. Exhale, and we're going to come into a curl. So we're going to go through 10. We're exhaling to curl, trying not as best as we can to lead with our chin, but to really feel like this is being generated from our internal abdominals, and we're not flattening the spine to get here. So last 3. Good. Last 2. And last 1. You're going to go ahead and extend one leg out, still staying connected. You can grab a hold of the back of the leg. I'm going to switch my hands. And we're going to come back into that abdominal curl. You can stay holding here if you'd like. And we're going to do a lower and lift. For 10 and 9 and 8. If you feel like you need support for your head, go ahead and grab a pillow or squishy ball to rest the base of the skull onto. So you can really focus into the core. Last 2. And last 1. Take a break in between, just turning the head gently from side to side. If you have developed any neck tension, we want to release that and let it go. And to finish, we'll do our other side. So placing the hand behind the head, coming into that chin tuck, abdominal internal core active, curling, grabbing if you'd like, and extending, lowering and lifting, lower and lift. So harder if you have both hands behind the head, a little bit more controlled with the hand supporting the leg. So inhale to go down, exhale to come back up. If you feel like you've started to jet your chin, you just refocus on lengthening for your last 3. Thinking length through the crown of the head, 2. And last 1. And come on down. Opening to the side, widen our feet, and just do a little bit of gentle rotation through the lumbar area to release that and let that go for the day. Beautiful. Grabbing a hold, we'll extend one leg, tuck the chin, and roll on up. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed that. A little bit of foam roller, a little bit of core work for today. Look forward to seeing you next time.